whole child, all subjects, all everything.
How does it meet the needs of all of our learners?
We want the student responsible to take some responsibility for their own learning.
What can we do to be highly effective in the classroom?
Teacher is learner, learner is teacher. Those big ideas that are not unique to helpful living or ELA or to social studies, but that are in fact inherent in the new standards.
You are in for a treat. You've learned a lot in your
Here we go, we're moving and grooving.
What I'm getting out of the session is really for teachers and administrators to not necessarily worry about the what at this point, particularly around the Common Core and the essential standards, but to begin to think about the how and why. How do we engage students better in the classrooms? How do we change our practice, teaching practice, so that we can really think critically about what's most important for kids to know, think critically about how we can kind of deliver that instruction.
How do we make sure that we have the how? How do we make sure we implement the modalities and the key vocabulary and PLCs and all those things?
I find real value in the face-to-face, and I think the time to come together and collaborate and network with our own district, as we are now during team time this morning, or with other districts as we are in our content strands, is really beneficial, and it has matched my needs as a learner.
What do our assessments have they looked like, and what do they need to start looking like, considering that major work?
DPI has already been instrumental. It's been phenomenal with the support we have been given already. And I think the continued support with the Wikispace, all the resources that are aligned, and making sure we do have the resources that we need so that we can focus appropriately on the new standards, so that our teachers can make the shifts that are appropriate and that are needed for the Common Core.
To blend these areas together so that we get this sweet spot in the middle. This is when students read for meaning across a story.
Something they can relate to that will build my bridge to that fiction piece that might be a little more rigorous than they're accustomed to.
I think all of the LEAs in our state face the fiscal challenge, really trying to make sure that students don't suffer because we may not have the physical resources that we've had in years past. I think our challenge is to do more with less, so we want to make sure that the professional development and opportunities that we have reach all of our teachers and they feel that they have the support that they need to carry out the Common Core.
With vocabulary.
So I'm sure that's intentional.
The student does this is what I do. It's asking you about your behaviors, your practices.
What are the implications for meeting the needs of all learners as related to world languages?
I love the way she said do Spanish.
This morning, as we went in, we were talking about staff development. We were talking about setting up a pacing guide. Our two facilitators jumped in, and it was just a huge help and really got my teachers on board with the shift.
So if I want to go back now and add to my list of online resources or tools, I have some additional ones.
The ones that are doing the talking are the ones that are doing the learning. And I think it's really important for teachers to understand that we want our kids to do the talking and we are there to facilitate that learning.
It's been so good because I saw kindergarten teachers talking to 12th grade teachers about literacy. And to me, that was dynamic.
The Summer Institutes have really helped me to see all the content areas as a whole, not individualized, not segmented, but really helped us to see that all the content areas overlap. It's very powerful to see our teachers become teacher leaders and be very passionate about what they're learning.
The sessions bring a relevance to our job. Sometimes you can get caught up in the ritualistic aspects of being an administrator or being a teacher, and it's difficult to refresh. But I think these sessions have brought out the relevance of why we're in education. So it's really served to kind of renew me as an educator, I think, these Summer Institute sessions.